Texas two-stepping its way into the Elite Eight. They are moving on after a dominant performance against Xavier, 83-71. They were up by 17 in the first half and never looked back. Guard play, great. Tyrese Hunter, 19 points. Christian Bishop, 18 points. Marcus Carr, 18. Serge Rice, 16. This is a deep lineup. Texas's bench outscored Xavier's bench 35-5. They get bench production. Dylan DeSue injured in this game, and he's their leading scorer in the NCAA tournament, so certainly a moment of concern here for Texas moving forward. They outscored the Musketeers 40-28 in the paint. It adds up to an 83-71 victory as they shoot 52% from the floor, and now it's Texas and Miami in the Midwest. All right, back here with Tim Doyle, Matt Norlander. The final game of the night, the final spot in the Elite Eight, and it goes to the Texas Longhorns. Your reaction to the dominating performance that Rodney Terry's group put on?
Well, my biggest question coming into the game was which Xavier was going to show up. The good Xavier versus Pittsburgh, or the bad Xavier versus Kennesaw State. I think we know which one showed up. This game, guys, was never really competitive. I do have long-term concerns about Dylan DeSue because you're going to need that inside presence. But, Matt, we were really high on the Texas guards. We thought this was going to be a great guard matchups between two elite backcourts. Edge Longhorns.
Big-time edge to the Longhorns. It was really impressive to see what Texas was able to do. How about this? I got this crazy idea. How about a 1 or a 2 seed just acts like it? Congrats to Texas because you're the only one standing. What we have here is the first time ever. No 1 seeds in the Elite Eight, but we've actually never had as few as one team on the 1 and 2 line combined make it to a regional final. Texas is the only one to do it. And between Serge Rice and what Marcus Carr was able to do, Tyrese Hunter, you saw the physicality and the dynamic play from Texas. Now, Xavier just didn't have enough, and you got to figure at some point they were going to run into it, not a deep team. Texas has been playing so extremely well as of late. So very impressive, adding to, when we look across the bracket, the right side's just got a little bit more weight to it right now in terms of the teams that seem to be the strongest overall. Great year for Xavier. Sean Miller, year 1, gets this team to a 3 seed and a Sweet 16. He's still in search of his first Final Four. He's been to a few Elite Eights before, but Xavier fans had gone through their longest drought in making the NCAA tournament in 4 decades. He walks in, brings them to respectability in a very good Big East.
And how about the job of Rodney Terry, okay? First head coach since Michigan Steve Fisher in '89 to reach the Elite Eight after not starting the season as head coach. We know what happened in Austin with Chris Beard, off the court issues. Rodney Terry steps in as the interim head coach. And I guess I'm confused as why the program hasn't named him head coach at this point. Maybe there's some procedural things to do, but he's just taken Kansas, or he just beat Kansas in the Big 12 tournament, and now he's run them into the Elite Eight.
Yes, Texas has won 75% of its games since Rodney Terry took over. Remember, Texas in the Big 12, by far the best conference in college basketball, and took that team to a Big 12 title in the postseason bracket there. Rodney Terry, it should be announced. Athletic Director Chris Del Conte, what are you waiting for? Okay, you should be alerting a press release saying the interim tag will be coming off. I don't even care if you have to go through the bureaucratic whatnots that need to be done down there in Austin to make this official. But at this point, you reach a regional final. Rodney Terry's done an outstanding job. Yes, in talking to sources as this has been going on for weeks and weeks, and Texas has been trying to figure out who could be the next guy there. Yes, Chris Del Conte did reach out to some big names. He got turned down. At this point, Rodney Terry has proven it, and he should signal, at least behind the scenes, that something is going to change here because Rodney Terry has earned the job. I do understand the point where, well, Rodney Terry would have been considered for this job in the first place if he hadn't inherited, considering the situation with Chris Beard. I understand that, but you know what? He's been a head coach before. He knows Austin. He knows the program. He came back. He took this job. He's done a wonderful job, and now he has the Longhorns 1 win away from the first Final Four in 20 years. TJ Ford was in uniform the last time the Horns got there.
TJ Ford was in the stands, and he hasn't missed too many meals over the last 20-plus years. Throw the damn towel. Hire this guy. I mean, it's pretty simple. Needs to be in consideration for National Coach of the Year awards. Not saying he needs to necessarily win the awards, but maybe it's the Harry Potter glasses, Akeem. Do you see the little circle glasses?
I do.
Maybe he's got a little
Like
extra.
the transition lenses?
He's got great guards.
Yeah.
Problem is he's going up against a team that's got really good guards, too. We're going to see some fireworks when Texas takes on Miami.
Yeah, you took me right there. You led me right to the next question because you're a professional, and that's the professional segue. Miami, Texas. What are your initial thoughts on this matchup? Because this could be fireworks.
No Dylan Dessou. I'm going to pick Miami in this game. I just think that they've spent a lot of money. It's been money well spent through NIL. This is a team that's playing with a crazy swagger. They were like, come on, bring that Houston defense, okay? We're not going to turn the ball over. We're going to get whatever shot we want. We're going to shoot 50% from the field and 40% from three. We're going to make all of our free throws. Isaiah Wong, I feel, grew up last year in the tournament, and he learned a lot watching a guy like Charlie Moore. They got guards that could certainly play. They have size. No Dessou's the difference for me. I'm taking Miami.
I'm going to take Texas. You want a quick factoid on Miami, though, right now?
Give it to me.
Made back-to-back Elite Eights. That's the longest streak in the country because everyone else that's in the Elite Eight this year wasn't there last year, with the exception of the Miami Hurricanes. This is a tremendous regional final that we're going to get on Sunday. I'm going to go with Texas here. On balance, it's been the better team all season long. By every metric, it has been the better team all season long. Jim Larrañaga has been in this spot before. Rodney Terry has not. Obviously, Larrañaga going for his second Final Four. We'll see about that. But from the defensive capability of Tyrese Hunter to Marcus Carr playing at a high level, the guard play overall, and even like Timmy Allen, I think he could be due for a really big game. Miami should keep it competitive. There's a chance. I know there's a lot of temptation in what the West is going to offer on Saturday, but there is a really good chance that the actual best game we are going to get to see of all four regional finals is going to happen right there in Kansas City between Texas and Miami. I will go with the Longhorns to get it done, to get to their first Final Four in 20 years. In doing so, I'd keep an eye on the guard play. And even guys like Christian Bishop had 18 tonight.
Off the bench.
Off the bench. They've got a lot of depth.
So deep.
They can get it done all over the floor. That is a grown man game, and I can't wait to watch it.
You know what's bittersweet here? Can you imagine, and you can, because I know you can do this, you're Houston and you watch Texas get to the Final Four in your city? Ugh.
Yeah, but at least they'll have to beat a team he lost to. It's actually why
but just how that's just gut-wrenching, right? You the Final Four's in your home and you're watching the team from Austin run in there.
Yeah.
They're going to have their hands full. Miami, their resume wins have been better in this tournament. Drake was really tough. Indiana was a team that obviously had ability to beat anybody on any given night, and then they just worked Houston.
Is Nigel Pack the difference maker? Does it come down to Nigel Pack? Like when we saw Kansas State and Michigan State and it was Marquise Noel, is he not the X factor? Is he the difference maker? Like it doesn't come down to what Nigel Pack does in this game.
I think that Miami runs through Wong. I think he's kind of the head of that snake. I think that it's a two-headed thing, and Pack was the leading scorer in tonight's game.
7 threes.
I think Juan sets the tone. This is a really talented squad. I mean, this is a squad that, Jim Larrañaga goes, I want to coach forever. I'm never leaving the sidelines because he's got a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
And he's been able to mold this talent of transfers and guys that have been through the wars. If Dessou was playing, I would have a different pick. And I'm kind of banking on him not playing.
Yeah, we'll see. Bone bruise on Dessou. So we wait and see on the update on what he's going to be able to provide there. But Texas, Miami, that's big boy basketball, and we're going to have a real treat awaiting us on Sunday.
All right, so Texas is the highest seed remaining. The only 2 seed left. Then you've got Gonzaga, Kansas State, UConn, San Diego State, Miami, Creighton, and FAU. That is our Elite 8, okay? So either San Diego State, Creighton, FAU, or K-State will be playing for the national championship.
Woo!
Let that sink in as we take a look at the odds to win the national title. Before I ask you about this national champion,
Yes.
I look at the West region and I go, maybe that's where our national champion comes from. UConn or Gonzaga. UConn's the favorite right now. Gonzaga at plus 550. Matt, I'll hit you up first here. Is the West region the home to our national champion?
Yes.
Who is it?
Gonzaga. I've got Gonzaga. As keep these odds here: Dan Hurley, Rodney Terry, Greg McDermott, Mark Few, Jerome Tang, Brian Dutcher, Jim Larrañaga, and Dusty May. Guess what? None of those 8 men have a national championship. And on that screen right there, UConn is the only program with a national championship. I will go with Gonzaga, and you are going to see, heading into Saturday, there's going to be a lot of talk about the imbalance. Like the right side's got the Zags, the Huskies, and it's got Texas and even Miami, right? That seems to be a little more weighted to that side versus the left side. Folks might say, this might be at first, the Elite Eight game, a regional final, is the de facto national championship game. I'm not that cynical. I can't go there. But to those who want to say that, I hear what you're saying, because guess what? Because Houston and Alabama lost, UConn's number 1 at KenPom, jumped up. That means rates as the best team in the sport. That said, Gonzaga, if you actually look at the predictive metrics over the past 7 weeks, Gonzaga has played like the best team in that span. It's got the offense. Drew Timme might be getting better by the hour, and I don't know how he's doing it, frankly. But after seeing what he did, Strother right next to him, if Hunter Salas, if he can play a little bit better, if Nolan Hickman can be a little bit more consistent, the offense is that good. A lot of people would say UConn here, but I had Gonzaga in my original Final Four beating UConn. I'm not going to step off that. So with that in mind, I've got Gonzaga with the teams we had. I had Houston, they're off the board. Give me the Bulldogs.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.